read to me the nameplate?
Judge Eboni K. Williams.
So the only thing that matters in this particular courtroom is how I see it. I am from North Carolina by way of Louisiana with some West Coast cool and a New York edge. Do we have a problem, ma'am?
No, I don't, Your Honor.
Equal justice is all about the most important values of our country: freedom, integrity, and those are the things that I'm striving for. Ma'am, you run your household, this man gets to run his. I decided to become an attorney and pursue the law. I wanted to be a voice for the voiceless. This court cannot hold this woman accountable. People from all sectors of life, black, white, purple, gay, straight, queer, and that's what equal justice with Judge Eboni K. Williams is all about.
Aquino claims he was forced to shut down his store after being pepper sprayed during a dispute with the defendant over skateboarding. Trevor Blake says the plaintiff accused him of filming customers and snatched his phone.
I see I've got Michael Aquino here as my plaintiff and Trevor Blake as my defendant. Mr. Aquino, you are suing Mr. Blake here for $2,398. You claim an assault took place. What brings you to court, sir?
So I own a store, retail boutique store in Berkeley, California, and it's right next to a skateboard shop. And a lot of times there are skateboarders right in front of my retail store who are either doing tricks or they're filming their tricks, and it impedes my customers often. On one particular day, on October 6th, I saw the defendant out there, and several of my customers came to me and wanted me to do something in terms of they thought that they were being recorded by the defendant, and that he was impeding them from coming to the shop. They felt very invasion of privacy, and also they felt that they weren't safe. And so I went and talked to the defendant and asked him politely to move over 10 feet from my storefront. He didn't want to do that. And another customer came to me, another customer was coming into the store and said the same exact thing, that they felt an invasion of privacy. They felt that they couldn't get into the store. So this time I went over, I was a little upset. I rushed over and I grabbed his camera that was on a selfie stick. It looked like he was recording again. I grabbed his camera, and then once that happened, the defendant took out pepper spray and aimed it at me. Luckily, I was able to turn around a little bit so that it didn't get into my eyes, but it got into my clothes. I rushed into my store, locked the door. Pepper spray followed me in. And what happened was, because the pepper spray came in, all my customers started getting the symptoms. I had to actually get them out through the back door so that they could get out of the store safely. So what I'm doing is I'm suing for, I had to close my store for half a day.
Oh, wow.
And in addition to that, I had to do a deep cleaning and get remediation to make sure that the pepper spray wasn't in the store at all or in the vents. So that's what I'm doing here, Your Honor.
So that's how we get here. A couple questions. Mr. Aquino, what kind of store do you have? What items do you sell? What kind of consumer base do you maintain?
It's Ochre Collective.
Ochre Collective.
Ochre is a type of color. It's an earth tone color. And so I wanted to bring something that's close down to earth. We're in Berkeley, California. And so I sell home goods, I sell clothing, blankets, candles, frames, little coffee tables, and bed linens, all in the color of different shades of ochre.
Okay, so I see now. Tell the truth, Elijah. Did you know what ochre was before?
I know what earth tones are. I've never heard of ochre.
So that's a no. Okay, guess what, Elijah? Me neither. Okay, so we're today years old finding out that this very sophisticated color palette here is ochre. Okay, let's get you into this, Mr. Blake. So you are a self-professed skateboarder?
Yeah, I'm a skateboarder and a videographer. I record skateboarding and skateboarding culture all over the city of Berkeley, including outside of Push District. Often it's a very popular hangout for skateboarders. It's a popular skate shop. It's been here long before the Ochre Collective moved in. It's been part of the culture here in Berkeley.
So you're a skateboard lifestyle content creator?
Essentially, yes.
Yes, okay. You monetize this, correct?
I do make some money, but it's more just about preserving and recording the art and culture. I'm not really motivated as much by the making money.
How much money are we talking about, Mr. Blake?
It varies on the month to month. Sometimes it's a couple $100, sometimes it's a little bit more. But I also work as a videographer for big skateboarding events where they hire me to record those, and that's where I make the most of my money.
Okay,
but
so this
still
is
in the
supplemental.
culture.
This is supplemental income.
Yeah.
And you do it for the culture.
Yes.
Okay, so I think we can get a sense as to how this could be in conflict, though, would you say?
I understand what you're saying. My point would be that the Push District and this neighborhood has been a skateboarding hangout for long before Mr. Aquino moved into this neighborhood.
I heard you say that earlier.
He chose to open a store.
I heard you say that earlier, Mr. Blake, and I'm going to tell you why I'm not moved by it. Because this is America. It's free market, okay? And whether Push District predated Mr. Aquino's shop or not, it's here. It's here. He has a right to do business. And his clients have a right to be able to patronize his business unfettered.
Coming up on Equal Justice.
Why would his customers be going to this storefront owner asking him to intervene so that they can have an uninterrupted shopping experience? Were you harassing his customers?
If you'll be in the Los Angeles area and want to bring your case to court, call 1-888-552-6878. This is Equal Justice. Equal Justice is back with the case of Michael Aquino, who blames Trevor Blake for lost business revenue.
You're asking for a lot of money, Mr. Aquino. You're asking for $2,398. Do you have some receipts to show the court where you get that?
I do, Your
Okay,
Honor.
give your whole folder. Give the whole folder, please, to Elijah. Thank you, sir. So I do see you have provided the court with some sense as to how much income you make from the store.
For the last 3 months prior.
For the last 3 months, we see a sales summary of about $3,509 in the month of July. August of similar, $3,536. For the month of September, $3,443. Average per month, you're bringing around $3,500. So that's why when you close the store for half a day, that's where you're getting this number from?
That's daily. So
this is daily.
We sell
it does say daily sales.
3,500 daily.
Okay.
So half a day would be about $1,755.
Gotcha. So that's how we get that number, which he's holding you responsible for. I'll see if I agree in a minute. We also see that this was the invoice you paid for all of this repair work that needed to be done. Air scrubbing, interior treatment, HVAC inspection, targeted residue remediation, air quality stabilization. So all of this was a result of the tear gas. What was it? Tear gas?
It was a pepper spray.
Pepper spray.
It was the pepper spray in the air. We had to make sure that it wasn't in the vents, and making sure that there wasn't on any surface.
So that it didn't linger. So you paid about $278 for that. Then it looks like you spent another $364 for cleaning, deep cleaning, sanitizing, and odor neutralizing. I'm sure that was very important.
Yeah, the most important thing is the safety of my customers, and so I had to make sure that this was done before I could reopen the store.
Okay. Now, you had never seen this man specifically before or engaged with him before this event?
Your Honor, I've never engaged with him before, but I have seen him outside my store before doing similar things in terms of the selfie stick and recording and doing tricks, but it never escalated to the point where so many of my customers were coming to me and asking me to do something personally to
intervene. They asked you to intervene.
They asked me to intervene.
Okay, Mr. Blake, talk to me about why his customers, see, this goes back to what I was saying earlier, and you looked at me like I had 3 heads. If you were just minding your business and over on the corner by the skate shop that predated this, yada, 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 why would his customers be going to this storefront owner asking him to intervene so that they can have an uninterrupted shopping experience? Were you harassing his customers?
Your Honor, I was not harassing his customers at all. I have no interest in his customers or his store. Me and several other people were hanging outside on the corner of the skate shop, not in front of his store, minding our own business when Mr. Aquino confronted me and accused me of recording his customers in his store.
Were you recording his customers?
I was not. I wasn't recording at all, and I definitely wasn't recording his customers or his store. I record the culture of skateboarding. What he does at his store is completely unrelated to what I would be documenting. I have no interest in anything, any of his customers or his store, and I wasn't recording at the time, and I politely explained that to him when he accused me of recording him and his customers, and I explained to him that I was not recording him or his customers. I wasn't recording at all at that moment, and then he charged at me and pulled the camera from my property. He took my property off of my person, charged me in a very threatening manner, and I felt threatened for my safety after this man just came and stole my property from me. He mugged me on the sidewalk and stole my camera.
All right, Mr. Blake. I do want to ask you this, though. If you weren't recording, it's what you're telling the court. Why is the camera phone on a selfie stick at all?
I always have my camera on the stick. I am a videographer. I see, when I view the world, I view it through my camera, whether it's on or not. So I have my camera out, ready to record skateboarding tricks and stuff that's going to happen, but I wasn't recording at that time, and I was on a public sidewalk where I do have a right to record, but in this particular instance, when he accused me of recording, I wasn't even filming at the time.
All right, Mr. Blake. If the court believes that, just so you know, is a very thin argument, only because it would just be a matter of, you know, a coincidence that you just so happen to not be recording in that moment, because you just told this court that you understandably, and you are right, you do have a right to be able to consume and create content, but you are recording. That's what you told the court. And it just would be just so the case in this exact moment you might not have been. Let's get back to this text message. I'm looking at a text message between the two of you. Hey, Trevor, yeah, who is this? This is Michael. I own the Ochre Collective next to the skate shop. You tried to pepper spray me. How did you get my number? Notice you didn't deny it. The skateboard shop owner saw what you did and gave me your number. You took my cameraman because I had customers complaining about you videotaping them. Regardless of the argument outside, your pepper spray caused my customers to start coughing and complaining their eyes were burning. I had to shut the store down. Then you go on to say you chose to go back into your store and lock the doors. That's not my fault. You didn't think that went through. You're acting like a madman. I was forced to pay for professional cleaning and remediation services to remove the residue. That's not on me. You literally took my property. I defended myself. My store lost half a day of business because of what you did. That's about $1,755. Also, $643 for cleaning. I'm not paying you for that. None of that would have happened had you not grabbed my camera. Ooh, you too. All right, that's it. You say, I'm not paying for it. I'm asking you to take responsibility. Practice what you preach and take responsibility for your own actions, because I already told you I am not responsible. So is that where you stand, Mr. Blake? This is not on you.
Coming up on Equal Justice.
Why not call security, police, law enforcement, and get it handled the right way?
Those are really good arguments, Your Honor.
I know, that's why I made them.
This is Equal Justice. Equal Justice is back with the case of Michael Aquino, who blames Trevor Blake for lost business revenue.
Yeah, yes, Your Honor, that is absolutely where I stand. He incited this incident. He chose to steal my property from me unprovoked and caused all of this incident.
Well, let's not get carried away, Mr. Blake, because even if the court does rule in your favor that Mr. Aquino overstepped his bounds by what we would call conversion of your property, which would have been your phone, we have an argument around provocation, because that's exactly what he's nodding his head to, is that even if he did convert or take ownership, possession of your property, which I might find that he did, what I then would need to consider is whether or not he was sufficiently provoked in doing so. So let's not get carried away with what was unprovoked. But Mr. Aquino, he does make a good point. It wasn't your camera. It wasn't your, was it selfie stick? Is that what it's still called?
Yeah, it was on a stick, yes.
Okay. I didn't even know they're still using those. Okay. You know, so why put your hands on it, Mr. Aquino? Why not call security, the police, law enforcement, and get it handled the right way?
Those are really good arguments, Your Honor.
I know, that's why I made them.
It was the heat of the moment. I was getting fed up because my livelihood is my store and my customers. And when that sixth customer came to me and said, I don't feel safe, I don't want to be recorded. And yes, the defendant says that he wasn't focusing on my customers in terms of recording, but they could be in the background. They wanted to maintain their privacy, and I wanted to protect them from that.
Coming up on Equal Justice.
In the text messages I read to the court, it talked about you got the phone number from the skate shop owner.
Yes.
What is your relationship with the owner?
We have a great relationship.
This is Equal Justice. Equal Justice is back with the case of Michael Aquino, who blames Trevor Blake for lost business revenue.
I wanted to protect them, and so what I did was I grabbed the camera.
And that was impulsive? You admit that was impulsive?
It was very impulsive, but that's My nature.
That we got to work on that then, Mr. Aquino. That's not a good nature to have. Not period, and certainly not if you're going to be in business, right? And I say that as somebody who, you know, am a proud entrepreneur myself. But that is a game of responsibility, discipline, risk tolerance, and so you have to improve upon those skills. I'm ready to make a ruling here, but I do have one final question for you, Mr. Aquino. In the text messages I read to the court, it talked about you got the phone number from the skate shop owner.
Yes.
What is your relationship like with the because to me, owners need to be talking to owners. Owners shouldn't even be dealing with customers. So what is your relationship with the owner?
We have a great relationship. We have coffee every weekend. And so when I asked him about I told him about the event, he immediately said, yeah, I know who that was. He had mentioned before that
he gave
there
you
were
up,
other
Mr. Blake? How you feel about that?
I don't really love that he did that.
I bet you don't.
Yeah.
I bet you don't. Listen, Mr. Blake, if I were Mr. Aquino, if I were one of his customers, I wouldn't love your constant presence with a constant phone constantly in my vicinity. But I will say this, much to my dismay, this seems to be the society we live in these days. Everybody everywhere has got a camera. They're creating content and TikToks and dances and you know what. And I frankly find it very annoying. But, as I've said many times, this is America and the free market persists.
Judge Eboni's verdict when equal justice returns. This is Equal Justice.
Gentlemen, I'm going to go ahead and make my ruling here. Here's what's most important. I'm willing to entertain the fact that there was some provocation involved here, but I'm not clear, Mr. Aquino, that it rose to the level to justify you putting your hands on this man's property. I'm going to find that constituted what we call a conversion of personal property. He took what was yours and he made it his, and that's a no-no. You then responded. One could say overly responded, but one could also say a reasonable response, depending on how you look at it. You pepper sprayed him. You weren't expecting that, but it happened. You then start running into your shop. I understand that. But then everything that was incurred at that point, Mr. Aquino, was a result of your improper conversion of this man's personal property. That's the bottom line. That's the law. Therefore, I empathize with you. I do. But you got to eat this, Mr. Aquino. The court does rule in favor of the defendant. Your property was improperly converted from you by the plaintiff. Thus, the plaintiff's claim is dismissed entirely. I'm sorry you got to eat this, Mr. Aquino, but I wish you best in the future.
All rise.
Judge Eboni has ruled in favor of the defendant. The plaintiff's case is dismissed.
Any final thoughts for each other?
Yeah, justice was served. Skateboarding is not a crime.
You need to get a real job.
Yuppie scum.
Judge has made her rulings. Please grab your belongings. Follow me.
This has been a production of Allen Media Group.